down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like. Been down and I'ma get it right. Get on sight like.
Hello, and welcome to episode 2 of the Monday Night Customs Analyst Desk. I am Peter, and joining me this episode is Cash. Cash, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. Let's give a round of applause to our graphics team. That was fantastic. Did you see those great animations that we've got? I mean, we've got a great animation team here at Monday Night Customs.
I know, I'm surprised you can even understand and comprehend what animations are, given that you're a cat.
Well, I'm one of those really smart cats. All right, so I'm ready to go. Let's get started.
Yeah, I'm excited too. But before we can play a exciting set of League of Legends games this week, we have to review those clips from last week. They'll be pretty exciting too. So let's pull some clips from 2 different games. Game 1, we can take a look at the champion draft. Alright, so looking at the champion draft, both teams have nice fight opening tools, a solid front line, rock solid, one might say, and some good backline DPS as well. The drafts are fairly even. We'll see what happens in the fight. So swapping to the clips, we're looking at fight 1 now. In fight 1, let's see what happens.
See, I really don't like this position.
Leona steps in a trap and takes lots of damage. 2 ults go out, Thresh and Ashe ult, and Leona still taking damage. She dies.
Leona's
a follow-up hook from Thresh. Yeah, Malphite and Cassin still haven't ulted yet. Cassin Rift walks in. The Amumu ult goes out, but Malphite Flash
Nobody's
ults for the
touching this
combo.
Jhin. Look at that Jhin. Nobody's touching him. All that's up there is in one Amumu. Amumu doesn't have enough damage.
He does
now
not.
the Cassin's coming back, but what is this? Amumu runs off to save some time. He's going to get that Malphite in a few
This looks
seconds.
like a definitive win for Red Team. Unfortunately, it looks like it was going to be a good win for the blue team with a pick on Leona, but they didn't respect the Malphite key ability, or the Cassin key ability, and the carries just took too much damage. There's fight 2, Thresh is posturing, gets a nice hook on Jhin, but no follow-up from Amumu or Ashe. Leona flashed east to punish the hook, and Malphite opens the fight
Amumu
instead.
alone right there.
For sure, the Leona ults drop. Caitlyn's just walking around without autoing for much of this fight. Lots of missed damage and all key abilities have been used, but so she has nothing to be afraid of. But now Jhin cleans up with the ulti instead.
Yeah, and there's no punishment on the Jhin. And Moose is playing this Jhin, and he is probably the strongest member on the enemy team. The enemy team, the blue team, should have been focusing Moose, in my opinion.
For sure. They did get a chance to focus Moose at the beginning. Let's rewind back to 057 where we see this Thresh hook. So looking at this part again, this hook was really nice from Thresh, and Jhin should have died here had blue team been positioned to follow up on potential fights. If Jhin had instantly died from either the Amumu toss or the Ashe ultimate, the fight would have been totally different. Malphite does have that positioning where he's trying to posture to protect Jhin, but and Malphite ult on Amumu would be a win for Amumu's team, and Ashe's ult has infinite range.
Honestly, I think they're giving way too much respect to this Malphite. They're playing way too cowardly. Like you said, they should have been able to go in right there, take care of that Jhin. And as you can see, they get punished, right? Their entire team gets caught. The Azir does what he can do, does a little bit of a stream and shuffle, throws things around, but look at that. Moose is just standing right there, shooting in. So
Yes.
even with Xylobe's really powerful Azir plays, he can't, carry it enough, and Moose just cleans up.
For sure, Caitlyn misses a lot of auto attacks as well, but it is a relatively minor point compared to the other ones. Looking at the next fight, we'll actually skip fight 3 because the red team is just too far ahead at this point, and it doesn't matter. There's not much interesting in this clip. So we'll move on to game 2. So looking at the champion draft for game 2. The champion draft this time has a lack of fight opening tools on Katarina's team. The draft is favorable for blue team because the blue team just has more tools with the Renata hook, the Renata ult, the Seraphine, and the Nautilus and the Trundle to open a fight. Whereas red team only has a Nami bubble as a fight opening tool. We will see what happens.
Yeah, but also if we take a look at it, so just pause for a moment. Blue team's got, double support. The only damage is Dwayne, who's playing the Zeri. I mean, Dwayne is a very strong Zeri player, and Doomgeek is a very strong Seraphine player, but there's just not enough damage. I mean, you've got Bloody Sunday playing that Trundle, and you've got Diode playing that Nautilus. Where on the other side, you've got Neil playing his strong Lee Sin with a bunch of poke champions plus yourself on the Katarina. So I feel like there's a big damage gap between the two teams.
For sure. I think that there's a damage gap, but the damage is enough. Zeri does a lot of damage, so they'll have to coordinate it to pull it off. So let's roll the first clip. So in fight 1, the teams are posturing. Blue team is low on health, and we'll see what happens. Red team has an advantage right now.
I have to say, I don't like Caitlyn as an ADC.
Nautilus opens with a nice hook on Lee Sin. Lee Sin should have died there, but he escapes. Red team is not positioned to follow up on the hook.
Oh, but look at that punish on that Nautilus. Nautilus makes plays and gets punished for it. But look at that fast exhaust. That was fantastic.
Red team has lost at this point. They should have ran away earlier, but they're just taking tons of damage. Caitlyn goes for the greedy flash. She dies. She doesn't respect the Trundle pillar or the Trundle. Oh, and Katarina just ints as well. This has turned around completely with Caitlyn's team not respecting those key abilities like that pillar.
But a good dodge from that one dude. I mean, Kay's still there. They can recover from this. But honestly, the Nautilus just lying there. I think it was just the red team not providing enough support.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, so we can see the same theme, which is pretty interesting. A great hook would have resulted in a clean win. Rewinding to 257. On here, with that hook on Lee Sin, we see that Trundle is not up front enough, and Renata and Seraphine are also too far back to do anything. Only Zeri with a dash can actually follow up on this hook. So had they been in a spot to follow up on it, they would have gotten that clean Lee Sin kill and walked away.
On the other side, blue team is in fantastic positioning. Look at that. The Caitlyn's up front, you've got the Corki in the background, and that Katarina is in good position to just dive in.
Yes, and that's why in this circumstance, even though Lee Sin should have been the one to die, it is Nautilus that died instead. Alright, so we'll take a look at the next clip, which I believe is somewhere around here. Taking a look at fight 2 in the second game. Lee Sin gets the kick. He ints into 5 people. He should die here. He does die here. Nami and Renata ults trade. Still, red team does a lot of damage, and now blue team is disadvantaged. The Seraphine ult goes out, Katarina dies, and this looks like a clean win for red team. Cash, what are your thoughts here?
He caught the Caitlyn on the very edge of that Renata ult, and I think that helped a lot. Especially because Caitlyn's doing a lot of attack damage. But as you said, red team kind of has it. But look at this. They're diving under tower. They've just got better placement. The only thing that I would complain about the red team was that pillar came up really quickly.
For sure. The pillar didn't contribute much to the fight, but it didn't outweigh the disadvantage of Lee Sin going in 1v5. If you hit that Q, you got to follow it. All right, so we'll see this last fight here for the last clip that we are reviewing today. The blue team has the package and are posturing. We will see what happens. So they're posturing up. A 5-man Trundle pillar goes out and the squishies are split. It's an opportunity. Nautilus takes advantage of the opportunity. Hooks Corki, but his team's not ready to fight. Renata ult drops. Nami and Corki package drops. And Corki killed Seraphine. And now everyone is just cleaning up. This looks like a clean win for blue team.
Moose was untouched that fight. He was able to dodge Renata ult, and he's just able to come in there and just sort of clean up in the background. Kay's doing a fantastic job sort of disengaging and creating a little bit of space for his team.
Yes, for sure. We'll rewind to 452. At this point in time, we can look at it again, and with the ability to see what happened in hindsight, red team is running away, waiting for the package to expire. It's a good move, but they're doing so in a way that, as we've seen before, prevents them from winning. A amazing 5-person Trundle pillar drops with applying Imperial Mandate to everyone, and this could have been a game-ending pick right here on this screen on Corki. If the 5-man pillar was combined with a 5-man Seraphine or Renata ult, the entire blue team could have been wiped here. But it was a lost opportunity that missed them the chance to win the entire game because, once again, team positioning was not ready to potentially fight.
Yeah, but it's also hard to position. I mean, Corky's got package, and there's a lot of poke from this team, right? Corky's going to be throwing those missiles at you, and every so often he's got that red one that just goes boom. And then, Caitlin's got her Q, and it's just a tough thing to sort of walk up towards.
Yes, I agree, and I think that differentiates a lot of players, that ability to walk on that knife's edge and be just barely out of danger, or for the tanks, just barely inside the range of danger. But carries should be just out of danger,
I love this
so that they
Corky
can
ult.
turn around and follow up. Yeah,
Passive.
the Corki passive just burns Trundle to death. Once that
Trundle.
ulti dropped and Corki didn't die off that Nautilus hook, the fight was over. So to recap, I think we have 3 themes here tonight. One was watching for key abilities to prevent getting caught, to maximize DPS if you're a carry. 2 is not doing double or nothing plays and pushing too far when key abilities are still up. So it's kind of a theme that's related to 1. And 3 is positioning should always be ready to apply damage, which for tanks is just within that danger zone, barely. And for carries and supports just means barely outside that danger zone. There are many missed opportunities to win games or win fights that could have been turned around there. We'll see if that might improve tonight